I remember when I made the decision to quit my job. It was probably one of the scariest things I've seriously ever done in my life. I remember sharing this vision with people around me, and they thought I was crazy. Why would you want to quit this great paying job? You went to school, you have this degree, you're living this great life. Why would you want to throw that all away? And the most that I could tell people was this was the vision that God had given to me. And so it was time for me to take that leap and start that journey. I'd be lying to say that I wasn't afraid. I mean, just 4 years ago, I was jobless. I remember losing my job when my daughter was only 1 year old. I was nearly homeless. I was losing my mind. I was confused. I was broken. I remember waking up with no power. I remember going to bed without eating. And I thought, God, there must be something more. There has to be something more for me. But you see, God allowed me to grow through those things so that He could position me to be able to help other women break through those same things. And so on May 27th, 2014, shaking in my stilettos, I went into my boss's office and I turned in my 30-day notice. And while I was afraid and I was scared and I didn't know what life would look like from me making that decision, I was afraid and more afraid of what life would look like if I didn't make that decision. And that fear was way more important to me. So on June 27th, I walked out of that office free. I was officially my own boss. After failing and learning in the first few months, I finally got it right, but I couldn't even tell my story without letting people know that I failed. I did. I failed in the first couple of months, but I didn't quit. And when I got it right, I remember looking at my end of the year report and closing out my first year, making as much as I did in my corporate career. And that was a huge turning point for me, and it was time to celebrate. And so we did. I celebrated. I remember going on vacation for 2 weeks and really just living that freedom that I had worked so hard for. But when I returned, I didn't realize that I would be returning to one of the hardest seasons of my life, returning to endure the upcoming month of losing my best friend. Losing my grandmother shifted me into a season that would change the trajectory of my life and business. Of course, I didn't see it that way at first, but I was sad. It was really hard to be creative when you're sad. I didn't want to work with any clients. I didn't want to take on any new projects. I just wanted to be still, and that's exactly what I did. I got still and I focused on God's plan for my life, and I stopped making plans. And in that season, I felt God speak to me, and He said, Tiana, this is what I want you to do. I want you to use your story and reach back and pull other women forward. I want you to help women live on the other side of their fear. And so in that season, I wrote my best-selling book, 52 Shades of Fearless. And I used that book as a platform to be able to help other purpose-driven women activate their fearless and live their best life. And because of this, I am on a mission. I'm on a mission to start a movement of women who think differently and speak differently and declare the greatness that lies ahead of them. This vision is much bigger than me. In fact, this vision isn't even about me at all. It's about the lives that will be changed, the minds that will be shifted, the boldness that will be declared. Fear no longer has power over your life. Fear no longer can block your dreams. Fear can no longer ransack your hopes. It's time to stand firm in your power. It's time to believe in your purpose. It's time to operate in your gifts. Your best life is waiting. So join me at the Fearless Tour.